Hey everybody, welcome back. BeastmodeRon for another video. Today's going to be a special little video. This is actually probably the third commentary I've done over gameplay, and it's not live, but this is such an important commentary for me. I wanted to make sure I got everything right, and I really didn't get distracted with the gameplay or anything like that. But I do have some good gameplay in the back. If you like Call of Duty Black Ops 3, got some good gameplay in the background. But if you guys don't know, it's the holiday season. We got Christmas coming up. We got family, good food, friends, and of course presents. And I wanted to tell you guys about my best Christmas ever. If you haven't been subscribed to the channel longer, you're not one of my good friends, and don't know me that well, the best Christmas ever relates to the kind of person that I am. So I have to explain that a little bit. Let's go back a little bit before we get to the best Christmas. Just to explain a little bit. For those of you who don't know, I'm just basically a gamer, a nerd, a geek, whatever you want to call it. I love gaming. I've loved gaming since I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. It's been a few years now, but it brings a lot of joy to me. I like doing it. It's relieves stress for me, and I'm just a nerd that loves gaming. Okay, so that's very, very important in my story. Now, the second thing I want to get into is kind of when I was growing up and when I was younger. I think I grew up in like the golden age, I want to say, video games. Now that probably goes the same for everybody, depending on like what games they're playing when they grow up and stuff like that. But I really think that I grew up in like a golden age. And let me explain. So when I was a kid, I remember when the Game Boy Color first came out, and I remember when Pokemon Red and Blue first came out. And if you didn't have a Game Boy Color, I was actually playing on the original Game Boy, so I didn't have color on my screen. It was green and like a tinted brownish color kind of thing. But my neighbor friends had the Game Boy Color, and all my friends at school had the Game Boy Color, and I was jealous of that. But I eventually got one, and it was, I played that thing all night, never did homework. So I remember that when that came out. I also remember when I used to go over to my neighbor's house that lived across the way in the apartment complex, and we used to go over there and play Mario Kart on the N64 all freaking day. Like, that's all we ever played. Then I remember Mortal Kombat and Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo. I remember back when you could go to Blockbuster Video and they would have multiple TV screens with systems set up so you could play the games like while your parents were walking around looking for movies to rent. Yeah, we didn't have red boxes back then, and I remember that. I even remember when the PlayStation was first coming out, you could go to a Blockbuster and pay $200 and something deposit and walk out with this black briefcase that was actually the PlayStation console. So you were renting the PlayStation console for a week with that $200 deposit, making sure you didn't run off with the PlayStation. I remember my dad rented that one time, and man, ever since he rented it, we ended up trading in the Super Nintendo, and we got a PlayStation. And then Crash Bandicoot came out, Spyro, Gex the Gecko, Ridge Racer. Man, I'm probably going too far back for some of you guys, some of you young viewers, but man, back then that was the system to have. Final Fantasy VII. I mean, when I'm talking about golden age of gaming, I'm just talking about games that came out that like are iconic and just like grew my passion for gaming even more. I remember being subscribed to multiple gaming magazines, Game Informer, Game Pro. There were some other ones I can't really remember. If you were subscribed to gaming magazines back then, you would actually get a demo CD in the magazine, and in this demo CD you would put it in the PlayStation, which was the big console back then. Put it in the PlayStation, and it would have demos of all the new games coming out. And I remember I got an edition of a magazine, and it had a demo CD in it, and the game that was on it, okay, was this revolutionary game. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody couldn't wait for it to come out. And the game was called Metal Gear Solid. Now, this was the first Metal Gear Solid. And if you don't remember this demo CD, you basically started off in like a water level. You're swimming around. You come up on a dock, and then you gotta hide behind this box, and there's guards there, and you gotta make your way around. Eventually, you're outside, and you have to sneak around in the snow. And then when you get in the inside, there was multiple ways to go about the level. And I remember I was crawling through an air duct, and then I would eventually end up in this room with a tank in the middle, and I would be underneath of the tank. I could remember the demo like it was yesterday. Okay, I played it so many times over and over and over again. Well, this gets into the best Christmas I ever had. You probably know where this is going, but so that's the background of gaming and my history and stuff like that, and the game that I wanted so bad. I wasn't the richest kid. We didn't have too much money, so my parents couldn't get me the game for me. I didn't have a job at the time, but I played that demo so much. Me and my brother both played it. And everybody was asking me around Christmas time, all the family members, you know, aunts and uncles and stuff, were asking my dad and my stepmom what I wanted for Christmas, and I would say the same thing every single time: Metal Gear Solid. And of course, adults, you know, they don't know, like, what did he just say? Like, they don't know what the game is, so I had to actually, like, spell it out for him, tell him what it was. It's a video game where you sneak around, you know, kind of thing. And I told everybody that, but I didn't expect to get it at all. I didn't think any family members would actually go out, search for the game, and get it. I didn't expect it. So, of course, around Christmas time, you're traveling. So we traveled to another state. It was probably about a 6-hour drive or something. And me and my brother, you know, we just thought we were going to get clothes for Christmas and school supplies, you know, stuff like that. And we get to the thing, we're eating dinner, we get presents, and one of my uncles, he gives me my present, and I could tell by the shape when I got the present. You know that when you get that present and it's the shape of the present that you're wanting, I could tell by the shape that it was a game, but I didn't think it was the game I wanted. So I slowly unwrap it, and it was, by the time I got this present, the game had greatest hits on the side, on the left side of the game. So I seen that first. I slowly start to unwrap it, and then I see the white cover with the red letters that said Metal Gear Solid. I was so I can't explain the feels that I got when I got that game. It was like I could not wait. I had to wait, like, you know, 7 hours before we drove back the next day to play it. But man, when I got back home, I played that game forever. That's the only thing I was doing. It was literally the best Christmas that I can remember. Not because it was like I didn't get the most presents. It wasn't because it was the best food or the best family time that I had. It was that Christmas where you wanted something so bad, you couldn't possibly get it yourself, and then somebody goes out, takes the time out of their day, you know, an uncle, you know, who has nothing to do with video games, actually went out, found it, you know, it was a used copy, I think, but actually got it for me, and it was the best Christmas I can remember. So a lot of you gamers that watch my channel might be a little bit older, you know, around 20s. You guys are going to be nodding your head this entire video because you guys get it. You guys kind of grew up in the same era of video games, and anybody who's ever played the Metal Gear Solid when it first came out, you guys know how revolutionary that game was. It was kind of the first, not the first, but it was one of the first tactical, you know, espionage, and now I'm quoting the game, but tactical kind of sneaking around without being caught, but you also had the ability, you know, to kill the guards or kill the bad guys. And the storyline in the first Metal Gear Solid was epic. If you haven't played it, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Go get a PlayStation 1. They're real cheap. You know, go play the game, but man, that game was sick. It makes me want to go back and play it talking about it. But I just wanted to give you guys a different little video. You know, Christmas time's coming up. You know, hang out with your family and friends, and don't forget about whatever Christmas means to you. But let me know in the comment section, what was the best Christmas that you had? What was the best present, if you guys do that kind of thing? What was the best present that you got for Christmas? And put that in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about my best Christmas, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys very much, and I hope you guys have a good Christmas too, okay? I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
It's all I wanna do.